be that way, that situation that happened at the Tower of Babel, all right, with Nimrod, the Lord wouldn't have never confounded their languages. He would have never split them up, because the Lord is about separation. The word holy, what does it work? What does it mean? Separation. So Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has set himself like the Mount Zion. When you look up the word Zion, it goes back to the word monument. When you look up the word monument, it's saying something is set as in a stone, inscribed as something that existed. So who is that monument on the earth? It's Yasha Allah, to show the world that the Lord still exists. And the people that are of Yasha Allah, he is a prince of power, the Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, man. Okay? And that's who we cry out to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. To tell you that all this pain, all these tears, all this hell that you go through is going to be taken away, man. And it's coming. But before that, you don't want to be caught in that fire, man. You want to be sealed up with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which is the Holy Spirit, man. What is spoken of in Ephesians, telling you have to be sealed with the Holy Spirit. Okay? You have to be renewed in the mind, man. You got to be rewashed with the Spirit, man. Because as soon as you came out of the womb, you were already being, like I said, the children, man, as soon as they come out, what happens? They're put in daycares, they're put in preschool, then kindergarten. They're already being planted with a bunch of shit, man. They're influenced by the other kids. You know, it's completely ridiculous, man. It's completely ridiculous. And that stuff should piss you off, man. Not only that, you see all these different pedophiles, you see these fucking faggots walking around, you know, these homosexuals. And that's completely against the Lord, man. You know? You got all types of things. You got our main enemy, Esau, walks around, you know, as a you got a question?
Yeah, what's it about?
What's this about? Well, this is the 12 tribes of Israel,
Yeah.
which is Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay? And these are his sons.
Yeah.
All right? And those are the true people of the Lord, which is the Negro Latinos and Native American Indians. I'll show you.
So you're not talking Muslim.
What was that?
Muslim.
No, I'm not Muslim. We're Israelites. We're Israelites that the Bible speaks about.
Yeah.
And the true Israelites are us, because we fit the prophecies, the curses that are spoken of in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Okay, let me show you something real quick.
That's all right. I don't have time. I just wondered about you. Thank you.
Okay, yep. Well, real quick, I'll bring it out. This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Because as soon as Jacob was getting of old age, so he was about to, pass away, so he was blessing his sons. And that was a heritage. It's part of our heritage. We want to bless our children, man. Right before we give up the ghost, we're seeing that our time is coming, so we bless our children. So that's what Jacob was doing. And this was a geographical prophecy of where you're going to know how to find these people in the last days. Okay? And it goes into right here. But yeah, it says right here in Second Esdras. Salakia, give me 1 second. It goes into the 10 tribes, how they were brought over here to the Americas, man. All right, the islands, the Bahamas, you got the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba. Those are all Israelites. Okay? It says Second Esdras chapter 13 verse 40. It says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. Which that word, or Salakia, it says, but they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forward into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might keep their statutes, and they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High showed them signs unto them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through the country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Asareth, which in the Hebrew is Aratazah, Akarath, which means another land. So that's how the the North tribe, all right, the northern kingdom, which is Ephraim all the way down to Issachar, got over here on this side, man. Where never mankind had dwelt. Why? To flee what? Oppression, which I was speaking about in the beginning. But guess what? When they came over here, what did they do? They kept breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments. They are sacrificing to other false gods. The Aztecs were heavily into human sacrifices, man. You know, the Native American Indians praying to false gods. So what happened? The Lord sent a troop, because what Gad means troop. So the Lord sent a troop, which is who? The cavalry, man. These Europeans over from over there, that side of the land, to come and destroy them. But Genesis chapter 49 is a geographical prophecy on how to find where Jacob is going to be at in the last days. I'm going to continue reading in Sirach chapter 13, verse 46. Then dwelt they there to the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come. So who's waking up? Who's waking up? The Negro Latinos and Native American Indians back to their true nationality, man. Their true heritage, which they discontinued from in Jeremiah 17. It talks about that Jacob discontinued from that heritage. We're coming back to that heritage, man. So not only is it the southern tribe, but also the northern kingdoms are coming up, because the prophecy said that Judah was going to be the first head to wake up, and then the brethren are going to be at his feet. Talking about the other nations, meaning that we're going to follow Judah. You know. So that's the point, man. You know, you can't get around that. You know, you can't get around these scriptures. But yeah, just to prove that, you know what I'm saying? Because Israel, the nation of Israel, is scattered to the four corners of the earth, man. Go ahead and bring out another one. This is the book of James. All right. James chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. So that's who Paul, when he went out to speak to the Gentiles, that's who he was speaking to, man. The Gentile state of mind Israelites, the Israelite foreigners. Okay? He wasn't going out to the heathens. But the Israelites, the Jews that were in Jerusalem, Israel, they looked at them as Gentiles, man. But they weren't, man. They were of the stock of Abraham. Okay? And go ahead and bring out another one. This is let's see, find a real good one, man.
Did that one Peter's?
Yeah, there's one in Peter's. I think there's one in Timothy's. So okay, let me see real quick. But it's a real good one, man. It might be in Ephesians, man. Let me check. Con right here, Ephesians. This is Ephesians chapter 2. I'll start at verse 2. And I'm going to jump down in certain scriptures within the chapter. This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2. Where in time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air. Who was the prince and the power of the air in the time when in the Romans? Was Zeus. Was Jupiter. Okay, so a lot of the Israelites, they worshiped the heathens, man. And then when the Jews in the time of Yahushua that knew they were Jews, they saw the other ones as heathens, man. But that was the prince of the power of the air at that time, okay, which was Zeus, Jupiter. In our time, it's the same God. They're still bowing down to those old entities, which is Esau, the prince and the power. Who sets his nest above the stars? Esau. The so-called white man, he got the satellites watching everybody what they do, right? So he's the prince of the power of the air, okay? It says, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that worketh in the children of disobedience. All these 2/3 are children of disobedience. They don't want to bow down to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. They want to be stiff-necked, proud, arrogant, ignorant, ignoring the truth. You know, instead of humbling themselves and be like, you know what, man, I need to get right with my power, man. I need because if not, the Lord's gonna jack me up. And that's exactly what He did. That's why Israel was scattered to the four corners of the earth. They lost their heritage. They lost their identity. What is it called in Daniel? The confusion of faces. You know? It says, verse 3, among whom also we had our conversation in time past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. You see, because Yahweh Shai told us in Deuteronomy 28 that if you obey all His laws, statutes, and commandments, you shall be blessed above all nations of the earth, and you'll be above all nations. But what happened since we walked contrary to Him is that we were brought to a lower state, man. We were made the tail. We were made the tail, not the head no more, man. So that's what Ephesians chapter 2, because in the land of Ephesus, they were heavily into the goddess worship, which was the goddess of Diana, man, which goes back to Semiramis. Okay, but Paul was sent to the Israelite foreigners in that land. It's gonna bring it out. I'm gonna jump down to verse 12, Ephesians 2:12. That at that time you were without Christ. I'm gonna say Yahweh Shai Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenant of promise, having no hope, and without God in the world. But now in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, ye who sometimes were far off, are made nigh by the blood of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Because Yahweh Shai was the mediator. He was the one that was going to bring back the lost sheep of the house of Israel to his father, Yahweh. You read John chapter 17, that's who Yahweh Shai is praying to, his father, thanking him that for those that he was given that were already that Yahweh already claimed. Okay, that's in John chapter 17. If you could read that whole chapter for yourself, man. It says, for He is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall partition between us. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 19. Now therefore you are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of the Most High. Right, so that's who those strangers, those aliens, the Gentiles are, man. We're Israelites, because they broke away from the commonwealth of Israel, which is what? What was their commonwealth? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that Yahweh Shai had granted us. Right, King Solomon is a perfect example. You know, the Most High came to him asking him, what do you want? And he desired wisdom on how to rule the people with righteous judgment. And the Lord saw that as a good thing. And what did He do? He granted him all the riches that his heart desired after that. That's that commonwealth, man. Is the law, statutes, and commandments. All right? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Which is hidden in where? In earthly vessels. Within our bodies, man. All right, this is another script. This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is His treasure. So the law, statutes, and commandments weren't set up to destroy us, but it was set up to give us prolong our life, man, on the earth. The law, statutes, and commandments, you know. But you broke away. We did. The whole nation broke away, and that's why we're scattered and we're considered heathens, man, because we broke away from there. What'd you say? What scripture were you talking about? The one at
1 Peter 1:1.
1 Peter 1:1.
About the inheritance.
Oh yeah, the elect. I think. Yep. This is James, or 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Yep.
It's all, yeah.
Yep. Because it's true, man. The elect. Let's find out who the elect are. Let's find out who the elect is. This is 43. Yep. This is Isaiah chapter 45 and 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name, I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. Right, so that's who the elect are that are scattered abroad. The 12 tribes that James was talking about, Peter's talking about, referring them to, they're scattered through the different nations. And when you go to the book of Acts chapter 2, when it talks about the same thing. It says 1 Peter's 1 and 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, Bithynia, elect, according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua Mashiach, grace unto you, peace be multiplied. So that's who, these people on this side, man, we're the true people of the Lord. And if you don't believe it, you know, hey, he that hear, let him hear, and he that forbear, let him forbear. Okay? This is, I'm going to bring out a proof of one other thing, that the sign is prophesied in the scriptures. All right. This is Ezekiel chapter 37, and this is the valley of dry bones. And the valley of dry bones is Israel, okay? Which is in the land of this land, you know what I'm saying, their captivity, where they're held captive because they've been stripped away of their nationality. But when you read the valley of dry bones, and it says that all their meat, their sinews start coming together, the tendons, is because they're coming back alive. They're being brought back to life. How? Through the Spirit of Yahushua, which is this word, man. Right? What is that in John 6:63? It says that the flesh, or the spirit quickeneth, but the flesh profiteth nothing. Something, you know, say, but his words that I speak are spirit, life, and truth. This is Ezekiel 37 and 15. The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it, for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Right, when it talks about Judah, it's talking about the southern kingdom. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Then when it talks about Israel or Jacob, it's talking about the northern kingdom, Ephraim all the way down to Issachar. It says, then take another stick and write upon it, for Joseph. Joseph is who? Ephraim. Okay? The stick of Ephraim, right? For Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thy hand, which is the sign. Because after King Solomon went off, and his son was Rehoboam set up, and he had Jeroboam set up in the northern kingdom, they were split up. There were two nations. But during the time of the rulership of King David and Solomon, there were one nation. So there were going to be there weren't going to be two nations no more. They were going to be brought together in the last days. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast, that they refused to let them go. So the northern and southern kingdom are coming fast together, man, and they're cleaving to one another, you know, and we've been oppressed together, man. Which I was talking about in the beginning of the lesson, is because this place, the Most High is fed up with this place, America, man, Esau, because all the hurtful work that he's committed, man, all the crimes, man. The land is full of bloody crimes, man. And if you can't see that, man, you're gone, man. You know, that's just the real about it. It has nothing to do with black and white. It's not a black and white thing. Esau made that black and white thing up, man. Actually, it was a German, man. I think his name was Blumenbeck. He's the one that set up the people and classified them in color codes, man. You know, it's about nationalities, man. That's all it's about. It's always been that way. Okay, and this is the Bible is one of the main controversial books on the earth, man. And people have all types of different breakdowns and interpretations, but there's only one breakdown interpretation. And those people in Israel, there's so many books about these people, man. It's not even just the books, but through the spirit. When you read the scriptures, you can identify the spirit of Israel versus Esau. Okay? And I'll bring it out. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So the Spirit is what? The Bible, man. And the Bible tells you and gives you indicators on how to identify these certain nations. You know? So, hey, you know, but like I said right here, Jeremiah 50 and 33, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. So it's not just the so-called Negro, it's not just the so-called Mexican, we're all oppressed. Our children are being oppressed. Okay? We're what you call the bottom of the barrel, man. That's how Esau looks at us. That we're just pieces of shit. We're wasteful or useless eaters. You know? But really, he's the one that contaminates and destroys everything, man. He pollutes the earth. He pollutes the waters, the ocean. You know? He destroys everything. Like all that stuff that's going on over there in North Dakota. All them Indians with the tribe of Gad, they were doing what they were protecting the land, man. That was granted to them. That land over there, in North Dakota, Burswick, that land was granted to them, and they wanted to go and try to build a pipeline in there, man. That was gonna eventually contaminate the waters. You know, that's what he does, man. He pollutes the whole earth, and he takes them by violence, man. Look at they were shooting rubber bullets at the Indians over there, man. They were tasing them. They were spraying gas. They're shooting them gas things. What do you call them? Yeah, they're doing all that, man. They had high pressure water hoses on them. Hey, man. Hey, man. Everything is heightening up, man. Everything is happening simultaneously because, like I read in Jeremiah 50 and 33, it said that the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Who was Donald Trump trying to attack? So-called Mexican. You got that thing going on with the Native American Indians. You got Jake, Judah, out here being shot down on the streets, man, like dogs. We're being oppressed together, man. And not only that, our children are being treated like shit, man. That should make you mad, man. This is This is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 7. And delivered just Lot, right? It's talking about Lot when he was delivered out of Sodom and Gomorrah and his two daughters because his wife was still hanging on to the world. And when she looked back, she would turn into a pillar of salt. You know, so the Lord basically destroyed her. But this is talking about Lot. And delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, for that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. And that should piss you off, man. That's why the brothers, man, starting with the elders, Elder Tahar, Gabar, Elder Al-Ramla, all the way down, man, trickling down to their seed, which is us, man. It's the same spirit, man. It's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai, who y'all call Jesus Christ, he's pissed, man. He's not happy up there. He's mad, man, and he can't wait to come back. To do what? To deliver his people, man. And ultimately to cast down judgment. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to cast judgment upon that eagle, man. That proud eagle. That leading me to what I wanted to originally bring out, man. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 11, verse 39. Or Salakia, verse 38. Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? Right, and that's talking about in the book of Daniel, the prophecies, man, where Daniel saw the image of Nebuchadnezzar, that great image where the head was of gold and so forth and so on, all the way down to the toes that were made of what? mirror, clay, and iron. But that kingdom, that fourth kingdom, was of iron, which was the Roman Empire. So that's what Esdras is talking about, the Romans, because right now we're actually we're living in the times of Rome right now. It's just the spiritual Rome. All right. It says, "Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? And the fourth came and overcome all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit." Can't get around them scriptures, man. And those are the scriptures people can't get into. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, he's revealed these prophecies, the hidden mysteries, unto our elders, man. And no other camp gets into these prophecies, man. Not Bubble Eye, Blackfish, GOCC, not ISUPK, IUIC, HODC, all them other camps, they don't get into it, man. Not even the fallouts that still call upon Yahweh Shai. All they do is mock and scoff about the elders and the head camps with certain individual cities, man. That's all they do. But they don't get into the prophecies. What does the 1 Corinthians talk about? The desire or covet after what gift? The gift of prophecy. Because that's what's going to bring and draw people out of their obscure mind, man. Out of being oppressed in wickedness. It's through edification. Edificio, which means to build, man. Okay? But that was the fourth beast of the vision of Daniel, was that dragon, man, that dreadful beast. That was the Roman Empire. Okay? But like I said, the toes and the feet were made of what? Mirror, clay, and iron. Those two don't mix. That's why America's falling apart. America's only been thriving for what, about 400 or 500 years? You know? But it was the 1400s when the Renaissance period began, which Renaissance means a rebirth. That was the beginning of Esau's reign again. He's going to reign on the earth again. So that quick, man, that quick is how this kingdom's going to be destroyed, man. It's not 400, 500 years is not long, man, at all. But that quick, his pride has gone above. It's reached the heavens to the Lord's throne, man. This man has a track record it could probably fill up his whole earth, man. That's why Yahweh Shai is coming back, man. To declare judgment once and for all. Okay, it says verse 40, Salakia, verse 41. "For the earth hath thou not judged with truth." He hasn't judged the earth with truth, man. You know? He hasn't. It's it's oppression. You gotta have a tag on your vehicle. You gotta have license to drive. You gotta have permits to build add on to your house. You got to pay property taxes. If you don't pay your taxes, what are they going to do? They're going to confiscate your house and kick your ass out after you paid for the house, your mortgage. You know? It's oppression, man. I got another scripture, man. Hey, this stuff. You know, and people that watch the videos, and people that are out here, there's people that actually care about what's being done on the earth, all right? You know what I'm saying? There's people that actually care about how they're being treated, whether it be fair or unfair. They care about that. You know? We're not little kids no more. We're like, oh, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's okay. We're not naive, man. We're not simple. You know? And the scriptures say with the Lord, an unjust balance is an abomination. And that's what Esau does. It's nothing but unjust balances, man. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed." And what do they prescribe, man? There's all these different penal codes, these city regulations. Like, brother right here, he knows, man. We've been through so many different areas in this city, getting ran off. We can't ever find a place to preach. Because they got city regulation, these people own these buildings, and they run us off, but that's just a small complaint compared to everything else that's going on in the earth right now. Right? There's murders, man. There's all types of things. Blood has been spilled upon the land. The Native American Indians. All that stuff is going to be rectified. But it's just Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from the judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, and widows may be their prey, that they may rob the fatherless. And you Jakes, man, y'all are being robbed, man. Where's your 40 acres and your mule that Esau promised you're gonna get for suffering slavery, man? You got Jake out there, the tribe of Judah. They're still waiting for that 40 acres and the mule. Where's it at? That's why the scriptures say he's a liar. He ruled the earth with deceit. You know, he speaks with you with smooth words, but he has swords drawn, man. And under his tongue it lieth war. You know? It says, verse 3, and what will you do, Isaiah 10:3, and what will you do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from afar? What is that talking about? What desolation is going to come from afar, man? The ICBM missiles. Ultimately, Yahweh Shai, he's going to come with the Lord of hosts, man. The Lord of Sabaoth, which means what? The Lord of armies. He's going to come from the heavens, man. They show you in the movies. They got this new alien movie called The Arrival. Have you seen it yet?
No, not yet.
I haven't watched it yet. I watched the trailer and everything, but I mean, I'm going to wait. But, you know, Independence Day, the newest one that came out, they had the mothership come, man. It blotted out the whole sky. Where do they get that from? The scriptures. Because the Bible talks about a great mountain that's carved without no hands, and it's gonna be filled up the earth. I'm telling you, man. Esau knows, but you got these people brainwashed to thinking that it's some foreign. You know, I mean, it's foreign. It's an alien. What does the word alien mean? Not from here. So they're not from here. Yahweh Shai even said it himself when he was gonna be crucified by Pontius Pilate. He said, if I was of this world, my servants will fight for me, for I'm not of this world. Because he's spiritual, man. Right now we're in a carnal world right now that who's in rulership? The wicked. This world is governed by evil, man. Everywhere, no matter where Jake tries to run to, you're always gonna be you're under the curses no matter what. No matter what. Esau rules everything, in every crevice, every inch of this earth, he rules. You can't even go outside of San Angelo and try to live. You can't even live under the bridge. They'll come and harass you. You can't do nothing, man. You can't even park your vehicle and be sleep in a parking lot, or they'll come and tell you to get out of here. You can't do nothing here, man. Those are unrighteous decrees, man. You know. That's a small complaint. Those are small complaints to what the Lord really got with you, man. Because the one that the Lord really has with you, Esau, is that you chased after your brother with a perpetual hatred, and you desired blood, man. Roughly paraphrasing, was it Isaiah 35 or Ezekiel 35, Salakia. So that's what the Most High got. You broke the brotherly covenant, man. You broke the brotherly covenant because you are a wicked brother, man. You're a Hebrew Edomite, right? The word Hebrew is Ibar, which means from the past, you know. Edomite, which is what? Adawan, which means red. Because your name was changed to Edom after you